South East Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
South East Radio.
Well, to continue our celebration of Local Enterprise Week, my next guest has achieved growth with the Wexford-based family food business even during the pandemic. Nicholas Dunne, how did Killowen Farm navigate its way through the pandemic?
Good morning, Carl, and delighted to be on. Yeah, it seems an age ago, and look, we've gone through an awful lot since then. It's been, I suppose, a whirlwind 2 years, I suppose, nearly 3 years.
And Nicholas, how did Killowen Farm navigate their way through the pandemic?
Yeah, I suppose, look, Carl, I suppose initially there was a whole piece of fear, and I suppose the first couple of days of the pandemic were a bit scary in the sense of our orders fell off the cliff, and nothing really moved, and look, there's a lot of concerns around between, even for our workforce here, because we'd vulnerable people as well working for us. But I think, look, after we getting in a week or two into it, things just took off, and look, retail within all the supermarkets became incredibly busy, and made up for maybe the loss that we would have suffered in food service. The blessing for us in this is that, look, we've gained market share as regards, look, we've got an awful lot of branded product out there because the Killowen brand itself done extremely well in it, and we've been able to maintain a lot of our food service business as well.
Nicholas, one vivid memory that I have from the last time we spoke was that you were telling me at the time that Killowen yogurt was now with Emirates, I believe, flying out of Dubai. So did you stick with that during the pandemic when they certainly went through their own levels of turbulence?
I suppose we looked at it from a point of view of look, every customer to us is incredibly valuable, and what we done was with a number of customers is, look, we stuck with them during the whole pandemic. Orders again fell off the cliff because, look, there was very few planes flying, and look, we not only were we supplying Emirates Airline in Dubai, we're also supplying a number of hotels and that in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and look, we went as far as Singapore and right out to Macau. So a lot of that business actually did die back, and the volume was actually very low, but actually we've probably taken a pretty hefty hit off it, but we've kept it in, and now it's back growing again, and every week our orders are back and growing. So the right decision was to hold it in there, but it was very difficult to do it.
Now, I'm aware that about 70% of your sales are got through supermarkets and the retail channel itself. Has that maintained?
We've been able to grow the brand during the whole pandemic because, I look at different times, there was different supply issues within the market, and we've been lucky enough to be able to keep supply out there all the time. So we've an awful lot more people in the country now actually eating Killowen than what were eating it pre-pandemic. So that was really helped us to grow the retail. So look, we're up. Our retail business is probably up about 20%, maybe 25%, almost up to 25% actually on this time 2 years ago. So look, we're very happy the way that turned out, and look, I suppose, look, the positive of the pandemic for us is that retail has grown, and people have formed habits. So there's not more yogurt being sold in the supermarkets than what was ever sold before.
Something that will come as a complete surprise to many of our listeners this morning is that 65 to 70% of the yogurt sold in supermarkets in Ireland is imported.
Yeah, what we look at here in Killowen is we don't have any competitors here in Ireland at all as such, because there's so much ground here to be made up. But look, the market has been dominated by the Opleys, the Knowns and the Mullers for years. So the big brands right across Europe, and no more than they are the big brands here in Ireland. So look, there's still huge potential here, and for a very much a dairy country, we're probably way underperforming in the yogurt sector. So yeah, look, it gives us great opportunity for growth in all areas, let it be retail, food service or business to business.
And in terms of community spirit, I know that you're a strong community man out in Enniscorthy, and you do say to this very day that the people of Wexford, ultimately without their support, the business would never have grown to the size that it currently is.
Yeah, look, I suppose, look, when we took over Killowen in 2004, look, it actually had stopped supplying, which, like, the basis of Killowen would have been it grew out of Stanieside dairies, and very few people probably would remember that at this stage. But look, we took it over in 2004. And the only business that we or the first business that we took on was our local supermarkets and hotels, and look, it was all down to the people of Wexford actually buying our product and having loyalty to locally produced product that got us to where we are.
And Nicholas, I know that starting out, the County Enterprise Board were very supportive to Killowen Farm, and since then, Board Bia and Enterprise Ireland have rode in behind them as well. During the pandemic, it didn't stop you from investing further in the business. Provide us with an insight into the project that you took on.
Yeah, I suppose, look, we have been, for years, we've been looking at bringing up our capacity, and we've also looked at several cream cheese projects because we have an expertise in cream cheese here that we've never really exploited. So at the start of the pandemic, we had decided we'd got planning permission here to extend the factory. So we have extended it. We've during the whole pandemic, we probably over doubled the size of our footprint here, and so we put in a lot of extra capacity in both producing cream cheese and producing yogurt.
And that new product, cream cheese, how did you identify the niche in the market for that, and what research did you undertake before deciding on it?
Yeah, look, it took a lot of research, Carl. Look, we spent about 4 years developing the product, and so that was the first piece that we had. And I suppose to look at, say, where the market was, there actually is no one in Ireland actually selling or retailing packs of cream cheese. So we're the only ones actually that are doing that. We put quite a bit of product out there at different times. People would have seen our cream cheese product coming in and going out of the market, and that was where we were trialling to see what the potential was. So we put about 2 years work into actually seeing how the market would receive it and so forth in the previous 2 years that of actually developing the product, because cream cheese is something that you have to sell with a reasonably long shelf life, and we've got about 90 days on it through a process without adding any type of gums or preservatives, which cream cheese contains a lot of it. So we have a very natural product like our Killowen product, and that was the basis that we developed this product, is that we needed to launch a cream cheese with no gums, no additives, no preservatives in it, and that's what we've been able to achieve through the process we had developed to do it. So look, we're looking forward to pushing that product out now over the next couple of months. And
on the topic of new product development, what else is on your product roadmap?
Yeah, so look, we have a lot. So we've product coming out. We've creme fraiches and sour creams coming out over the next couple of months. We've a complete rebrand of. People are going to see a different look and feel of what a packaging is going to look like. That's coming out over the next couple of months. We're looking at products such as we've a nice rice product developed. We've different types of flavours for cream cheese developed here. So look, we've a long list of products that we're going to launch in the next year and a half.
And are you finding that in terms of trends within the yogurt market today, people are looking for products with less sugar and lactose-free and plant-based?
Yeah, look, and I suppose we've looked at everything, and the piece is, look, it's about keeping everything as natural as possible, and the more natural the product is, the healthier the product is. And look, what we do is we've actually stripped back the whole process and looked at it and sort of said, right, okay, let's keep our sugar to a minimum, and that's what we've always tried to do. Is we've always had a low sugar product, and some of our products would have slightly higher sugars in it, depending on as you go up the train of, from sort of a breakfast yogurt into a more indulgent yogurt where you get a little bit more fat and a slight bit more sugar into it. But we are very conscious about what the trends are. Look, we have worked in and have researched in the non-dairy piece, and the problem with doing that is with yogurt you're only dealing with milk and culture, a little bit of sugar and fruit. But the problem is when we go into the non-dairy side, we've about 20 different type of ingredients that we're putting in, and that's why we've shied away probably from developing a non-dairy, is that we just haven't come up, and maybe someday we will come up with where we can just use a few products to make a non-dairy yogurt.
And Nicholas, how many staff have you got there now in Killowen Farm, and is there any issue in relation to staff recruitment and retention?
Yeah, look, it's a huge. We employ just over 60 people here on site. Yeah, look, the pandemic has brought huge challenges, and it's brought challenges in trying to recruit people and that, and then look. People have a different way of during the pandemic live slightly different, and their priorities have changed, and that has made it more difficult to recruit people. So yeah, look, we definitely are struggling. But that makes us then concentrate more on the people we have and providing a better place to work more, and I suppose it comes into the piece that what we're looking at now is upskilling everyone and getting them more involved in the business. and giving them more skills and trying to hold on to, fight the piece of that you have to. It's more important now that we provide a good working environment and be able to hold on to our employees and make them part and parcel of the business and make sure that they feel that they are part and parcel of it. And look, in the main, the vast majority of our employees are here for a long number of years.
For many years, we would have looked with envy at places like West Cork in terms of their overall food hub. Has County Wexford now surpassed them at this stage, in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I think we have. When we were starting out, we were incredibly envious of the West Corks because they just seem to have got it completely right. But look, I think we have, and it's been probably the development through the Wexford Food family and so forth. And you just look at the large number of members that the Wexford Food family have. If you take through these kitchen or down, you go to Dan's Cookhouse, O'Neill's Bacon, if you start writing them down, you get 15, 20 food producers that weren't there 20 years ago, and all those food producers have become all very successful in what they're doing. And look, I think Wexford is a fabulous place at the moment for locally produced, and it is going to build because they have been building over the last number of years, and they're growing from strength to strength. And look, hopefully, Wexford is going to become a food hub. And it's almost there, and I think we're the envy of a number of different counties. But I think it's maintaining that, and how do we maintain that and drive it forward is the next challenge that the Wexford food producers have to face.
And what do you think the solution to that is?
Keeping to what we've done up to now in the sense of, look, we've a very good enterprise board. We've had very good leader programs in the county driven by great people. And they have to deliver for food producers. So I think we need to keep pulling out of that. I think we need to also then go after the Enterprise Ireland's and the Board B isn't out there. And look, it's a matter of probably sucking them dry of information and of how we're going to be able to build this and keep it driving forward. So I think it's a piece of it. It's all about training. It's all about finding out where the best markets are, where's the best places to sell our food or whatever, where it'll be best received. And it's just keeping that flow of information into the county so we can keep growing from it.
And Nicholas, finally, congratulations are in order. Killowen Farm has been named a winner of the Love Ireland Food Brand Development Award for 2022 with a prize worth €150,000. What does this mean for you?
Look, this has been something we've targeted for a long number of years, and we're at the stage now of where we're just about to relaunch our brand. So look, this is 150,000 in advertising, so we'll get on the side of buses and into big placards and so forth. So it's money that we would have never been able to afford to spend on our brand. And now it's come into us in the form of this award. So look, it's absolutely phenomenal. I think I'm thrilled to get bits for the company. I'm thrilled to bits for the employees that made it happen here and the ones that make it happen every day. So look, it's a huge piece. It's a huge piece for Killowen, but it's also a huge piece for the county itself that has got recognised. That there's some great companies coming out of it.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Nicholas Dunne from Killowen Farm, and I'd like to thank Nicholas for giving us a taste of the company's success.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast.